Hello once again, everybody. We're back with you on Out of the Park Baseball 20. This is series number 95, and we have two more teams that we would like to introduce before we get the action started for you. Some great action recently. I encourage you to go back and look at some of the videos that have been posted already. 7-game series, upsets, champions falling, all kinds of great stuff. So we don't expect today to be any different. We got two new teams. Let's introduce them here. The first draw brings us the 1988 Montreal Expos, led by Buck Rogers. This team broke dead even at 81 and 81, third in the NL East. Some names you might recognize, I'm sure, here on the Expos. Andres Galarraga in his prime here with 29 long balls, hit .302. Great defensive first baseman as well. Won the Gold Glove, if I'm not mistaken. Tim Raines still at 28, still getting it done. 33 steals, .270. Still a very good leadoff hitter, although he did miss quite a few games with injury this year. Hubie Brooks had 20 home runs, drove in 90. Tim Wallach, still definitely a good fielder. And even the 29-year-old Otis Nixon there, who stole 46 bases on this team. Dave Martinez also on the roster. So some talent here for the Expos on the offensive end of things. Pitching-wise, it's about El Presidente, Dennis Martinez. Great season at 34 years old, 15 and 13, a sparkling ERA of .272. Bryn Smith and Pascal Perez, also very good starters. And Tim Burke is the mediocre closer and a bullpen that isn't the greatest. Even the 24-year-old Randy Johnson's on this team. But again, very, very early in his career, he pitched in 4 games, so I doubt we'll see much of him. But the Expos pretty formidable, not a terrible baseball team. So it'll be interesting to see how they do in their draw. And we're going to go way back in the time machine here for their opponents. It is the 1905 Cincinnati Reds. And the Reds, back in 05, when a completely different universe of baseball was being played. The Reds won 79 and lost 74. Their Pythagorean was actually 80 wins, so you're looking at a pretty good team. They finished 5th in a very tough National League. Looking at their roster, Miller Huggins over here, he turned out to be a great manager further down the line, but as a player, a second baseman, he did score 117 runs, which was a lot. They didn't play 162 back then. Cy Seymour with 21 triples, 121 RBIs, 377 average. Cy Seymour had with an unbelievable season. Those numbers are just phenomenal, and he'll be interesting to watch. Player manager Joe Kelly is also in the outfield at 33, leading the charge. Tommy Corcoran at 36, quite old for that frame, but he was in the game a while, good veteran, got over 600 at bats. But Cy Seymour is the star on this offense. Excellent ball player, at least for the year we're looking at. Pitching-wise, this is where the team had also a very good rotation. Noodles Hahn, you'll see here, is in the pen, but it's Overall, who wasn't yet on the Cubs, which he would find more stardom at, but he actually lost 23 games and had an ERA of .286. So think about that. That's what the dead ball era does to you. You pitch very well, low-scoring games, and you end up losing. Bob Ewing and Charlie Chech, very good ERAs as well. And a few other guys got some starts. Obviously, teams such as the Reds don't have much depth in their pitching because a lot of their pitchers went long and big innings and complete games and the like. So the Reds, not a bad team, some star power. It should be interesting as they face off against the Expos. The Reds, of course, the home team. They'll be playing the first two at the Palace of the Fans in Cincinnati. Then we'll head out to Olympic Stadium for the middle three. So two completely different eras, two very good baseball teams. Two teams maybe you've never heard of or never followed or never even gave a second thought to, including some players. And that's why we do this. We want to bring the Stars in from the shadows. Cy Seymour being a perfect example, and see what they can do on the big stage. So Bryn Smith is going to face off against Bob Ewing here, game one. We're ready to get this series started and hope you enjoy the action. So let's get out. Let's get out there to Cincinnati and get game one started. So welcome to Palace of the Fans in Cincinnati. We're in the top of the second with the Expos threatening. Runners second and third. 2 outs. The pitcher up there, Bryn Smith, trying to help his own cause against Bob Ewing. And Smith hits this one short, but the play's going to be made. So Smith hit it hard, but Corcoran makes the play. So the Expos don't get anything in the second. We'll move to the third. Here's Tom Foley with Raines on first and nobody out. Foley will line this one, and it'll drop. Raines on the move. He'll move all the way to third. So Foley with a single to right field. So the Expos threatening here with Galarraga, their big man up at the plate. Nobody out still here in the third. Bob Ewing in a big jam. And Galarraga rips it to left. That'll get to the wall. Raines scores. 1 run is in. The Expos break out on top here in the third inning with an RBI single by Galarraga. Make that an RBI double. Now runners on the corners for Tim Wallach. There are 2 outs. Wallach goes back up the middle. That ball is slashed over the bag. That's going to score Galarraga. Throw to third is not in time. 2-0 Expos. Some clutch 2-out hitting here by Montreal as they get up now 5-0. We'll move to the bottom of the 5th. The Reds trying to get something going. Runners on the corners here for Miller Huggins. 2 outs. That's going to be ball 4, so that'll load the bases here. A big spot for the Reds to try to get back in this game. Chad Berry at the plate. This one's hit on the line, and it will drop in left. Brunlin's going to score. Here comes another man trying to score. He will. And Cincinnati with 2 runs here on this Berry single. It's 5-2. Cy Seymour now at the plate. 2 outs, 2 on. He represents the tying run. He goes back to the mound. The throw to first will not be in time. Seymour beats it. Infield hit. Bases loaded. 2 outs now for Fred Odwell. Bryn Smith needs a big pitch here. It's hit the third. Wallach has it. They'll go to second. So the Expos get out of that jam relatively well. They let up 2 runs in the inning, but leave the bases loaded. So we'll move to the 6th with Dave Martinez up 2 outs. Another big spot. 2 men on. Rip Von Winkle in the game. And this one's lined back up the middle. A base hit. Martinez comes through with a 2 RBI single. More clutch hitting with 2 outs. The lead moves up to 7-2 for Montreal. That's going to hold up here all the way until the 9th. 2 outs. Jeff Parrott on there facing Jimmy Sebring to try to close it out. This is line to Wallach at third. He makes a nice leaping effort, and that will do it. The Expos come into Cincinnati, into the dead ball era, and get 13 hits, some clutch hitting, and win this opener 7-2. Dave Martinez 3 for 3, 3 RBIs, including a clutch 2-run single in that 6th inning for the Expos. Bryn Smith did get the win. Pitched into the 6th inning, struck out 6. Hubie Brooks 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. And the Expos get off to the best start they can here, winning on the road, stealing home field advantage, and putting the sole pressure now on the Reds as we move to game 2, where Pascal Perez is going to take on Jack Harper. And the Expos trying to pull the trick again to get up even more in the series before returning home. Let's see if the Reds can even things up. Going straight to the action. So we pick things up first inning. We got a jam here for the Expos. Pascal Perez in the very first inning facing a bases loaded jam against Fred Ottewell, who's at the plate. Again, nobody out. Here's the delivery by Perez, and this is hit to Foley at second. Forces made at second. Relay is going to be not in time, so the Reds get on the board here first in the first inning, 1-0. Here's Steinfeld facing Perez. This one's lined hard in the right. That's going to be a fair ball, so that'll get another run in. Runner at third will hold, and the Reds have come out very sharp here in Game 2, scoring twice in the very first inning. Our game will move all the way to the 7th. It is 4-0 now, Cincinnati. Hubie Brooks at the plate. Galarraga on first. Jack Harper, sidearm delivery, and Brooks lines this one deep to left field. Looking up, goodbye. Hubie Brooks with a smooth swinging 2-run homer here in the 7th inning to cut the lead to 4-2. The Expos back with a roar. And Tracy Jones now coming up with Wallach on first. Harper trying to stop the bleeding, but that's going to be lined to center field. A base hit. So the Expos have runners on first and second now. 2 outs. Mike Fitzgerald at the plate.
Strike 3.
Fitzgerald will strike out, and that will end the 7th as we hit the stretch here, 1905 style in Cincinnati with the score 4-2. Tim Raines now up there. We're in the 8th. Rip Valenkel in relief. The delivery, the pitch, and that's a man you don't want to put on the bases. Tim Raines with a walk here in the 8th inning to lead it off, and Tom Foley at the plate. Foley will hit this one to center. That's going to be playable. Seymour comes over, makes the catch for the first out. Von Winkle with the big out, but the new pitcher is Len Swarmstead, who's come in here to face Galarraga. Galarraga will line this past the third baseman for a single, so Andres Galarraga gets a hit. Expos cooking a little bit here in the 8th. Hubie Brooks now at the plate. 1 out, first and second. Swarmstead in some trouble here for the home team. And Brooks hits it over the first baseman's head. He's having a hot game. That'll load the bases. A little looper drops in. Base is juiced. Nelson Santavina, the catcher, up there now with the infield in. The Reds desperately trying to hold on to this lead. Santavina, though, lines it into left field. That's going to score 2. That's going to tie this ball game up at 2. Santavina with a very clutch hit here with 1 out. 4-4 tie. The Expos all the way back here and looking for more. Dave Martinez now up there trying to give his side the lead. Martinez will lift this one to center. Seymour's coming on. That's going to be maybe deep enough. Here comes the throw of the plate. Brooks has the speed. He will score, and the Expos take a 5-4 lead. They've come roaring all the way back with 5 runs here in the last 2 innings. Tim Wallach now up there. Schwarzenfeld's all type of trouble, and there's another hit. Another man's going to come home to score. They're going to get the back runner there at second. Wallach's out, but he does get the RBI as the run will count. It is 6-4. 6 runs for the Expos late. The Reds and their bullpen very disappointing. And here's Steinfeld now facing Tim Burke. We're in the 8th. And Cincinnati needs some kind of a comeback. This one's hit back to the mound. Burke cannot get the throw out in time. It's going to be an infield hit. Steinfeld's on first base here. Joe Kelly, the player manager, now coming up. Still nobody out here in the 8th inning. Delivery and shot to right. That's going to get down. Steinfeld will move to third. So Cincinnati coming right back here in the 8th inning. Jimmy Sebring up. Men on the corners. This is hit high to left field. Catch is going to be made there by Rains. Throw to the plate's going to be well late, so the Reds cut the lead to 1. Admiral Schley now coming up. Tim Burke now nursing the 1-run lead. Here's the pitch. Schley will take strike 3 looking, so Burke with a big strikeout on the outside corner. 6-5 now. The pitcher. Wormstead staying in here with 2 outs and a man on. Something common in these days. Wormstead hits it to second. Foley's going to take it himself. So the Reds get 1 of the runs back. It's 6-5 as we move now to the 9th inning. Tracy Jones at the plate to lead off the inning. Jones will hit a shot that's going to drop just in front of the left fielder. A good effort there, but Jones leads it off here with a single, and Otis Nixon has come in, the speedster. Nixon will line it down the left field line. That's going to get down into the corner. Runner's going to hold up at third, so second and third, nobody out for Montreal. They've responded well again. They add a run, 7-5 as we move bottom 9th. Joe Hesketh has come in relief. Miller Huggins leading off the 9th. The Reds down 2. That's a ball, so Huggins will get a leadoff walk, which is always a good thing for the team trying to rally. Chad Berry now up there. Huggins is on second after stealing the bag. This is hit to Wallach at third. He hustles and makes the play. They get the lead man. Huggins is at third now for Seymour. Hesketh worried about the batter more than the man on third, but he doesn't show it and walks Seymour, who is dangerous. So runners on the corner. Fred Odell in a big spot here. His team down 2, 1 out. 9th inning. This one's hit hard and deep. Outstanding play by Timmy Raines out on left field. He pulls it in. What a play by the speedy Raines. Going all the way into the gap to rob an extra base hit and likely maybe the tying runs. Instead, the tag is made and it's 7-6 with 2 outs and up to Harry Steinfeld. Raines saving his team there. That's why he's in the Hall of Fame. And there it is. Strike 3, Steinfeld. A nice relief, or cannot hit the pitch. He chased the slider out of the zone. Hesketh with a wonderful relief job here in the 9th, escaping the jam that he was in. And the Montreal Expos hold on here with the late rally. In contrast, the Reds' bullpen falling apart, allowing 7 runs in the last 3 innings in a game they thought they had control of. Hubie Brooks 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs. Harper went 7 innings, pitched well for the Reds. A shame that he couldn't get the win. Harry Steinfeld made the final out, but did go 3 for 5. And Hesketh gets the save there in the 9th despite allowing a run, and a wonderful play by Tim Raines. Likely the difference in that last inning. So the Expos were the winners again today. They battled back, never gave up, and they now have taken the first 2 games in Cincinnati. Proven there is no underdog thinking in the Expos. And now, moving to Montreal for game number 3. Orville overall for the Reds and Brian Holman for the Expos. The Reds really need a win, really need to turn this around, or the Expos can make quick work of them. Tougher ground to navigate in Montreal for the Reds. Let's see if they can do what it takes to try to get their first win and make this a series again. Coming up, game 3. So the Reds visiting Montreal here in the very first inning against Brian Holman. We got runners on the corners for Fred Odwell. Holman's going to deliver, and Odwell's going to line this one to left for a fair ball, and the ball will drop. A run will score just off the chalk on the turf, and a single now will get the first run home for the Reds. Runners on the corners again. 2 outs now for Joe Kelly. Holman trying to hold him at 1 run. Kelly lines this one, however. That'll drop in the right. That's going to score a run. Runner moving to third is going to be safe, and it's 2-0 Reds. Just as they did in Game 2, they come out fast here in Game 3 on the road. So overall now, being tested with Galarraga at the plate, 1 out. And this one's hooked in the left. That's going to get down. Runner on second and third here in the first inning as the Expos look to respond. Galarraga having a very good series. Here's Hubie Brooks. 2 on, 1 out. The Reds conceding the run, but overall gets the strikeout on Brooks. So with 2 outs, Santavanilla comes up. And this one's hit high in the left field. Should be playable, you would think, and it is. Odwell makes the catch to end the threat, and the Reds will hold on to that 2-0 lead. We'll move to the 4th with the pitcher up there. Overall, with 2 men on. And Holman playing with fire. He walks the pitcher, so the bases are loaded now for the Reds. 2 outs. Miller Huggins in a big spot. See if he can come through. He grounds it to third. Play's going to be made there, and the Expos get out of the bases loaded jam. Bottom 4, Dave Martinez up there with a man on. Martinez will single up the middle. Runner moving all the way to third, and the Expos now with the tying runs on the bases. 4th inning. And Tim Wallach at the plate with 1 out. Wallach will go to short, but the ball will get through. The Expos get on the board with the Tim Wallach single. Corcoran might have done better with that baseball, but he couldn't get it. And Tracy Jones now with the chance. He walks. So the Reds in trouble again. The Expos have been very good at creating big innings, and it seems like they're on the verge again. But here's the pitcher. Infield in. Holman at the plate. 1 out. There's a ground to the third. Play's going to be made at home. So they get the lead man. The infield being brought in is a good call. But Tim Raines now with the big chance to get his team even or put him ahead. The delivery. Raines will hit this one to center. That's going to be a tough play, but it is made all the way from shortstop. Corcoran gets there, and the Expos only score once. So it is 2-1. We'll move bottom 7. Tracy Jones at the plate. Overall still in the game. Jones will single up the middle, though. It's going to be the 7th Expos hit as they look to make another late rally. Mike Fitzgerald at the plate. Nobody out. Fitzgerald goes down the left field line. That's going to be extra bases. Ball turned back in. Here comes a runner trying to score, and the Expos have tied the game 2-2 on a Fitzgerald RBI double here in the 7th. They've done it again. And Tom Foley now at the plate. 2 men on, still nobody out. This one's hit to right. That's going to drop for a single. So these bases are going to be loaded of Expos. And Andres Galarraga here in a huge spot. Nobody out. High game. Galarraga deep to right. It looks like it's going to die just short of the track, but the catch is made. Here's the throw to the plate. Not in time. Galarraga comes through with the sacrifice fly. Fitzgerald scores. It's 3-2 Montreal. Hubie Brooks now with 1 out. Brooks singles past the shortstop. That's going to bring another man home, it looks like. Throw to the plate's going to be late. Hubie Brooks with an RBI single. 4-2 Expos. They're doing it late again. 3 runs in the 7th. Harry Steinfeld now facing Tim Burke, who's been very good out of the pen. Steinfeld will single this one to right field to lead off the 8th inning. Joe Kelly now. Kelly will fly this one high to right center. Play made there by Jones. Corcoran strikes out, so Burke gets him. 2 outs now here in the 8th. We'll move to the 9th inning, where Joe Hesketh is back in there. Al Bridwell at the plate. The Reds down 2 here in game number 3. This is hit up the middle for a base hit, so Bridwell with the 9th Cincinnati hit. Miller Huggins coming up now. This is lined to center field, but right there is Nixon, who's come in for defense. He makes the play. Hesketh gets his first out. There's a line shot, however, to right field. That'll get down. A single by Perry, and here's Cy Seymour with the tying runs on the base. 1 out. Seymour will line a shot here to left. That'll get down. So once again, the Reds threatening late to try to make their comeback. Bases loaded. There is only 1 out. Fred Odwell at the plate. Neil Heaton has come on to try to close the door. A tough spot. Here's Odwell now. And Heaton gets him on an outside pitch for strike 3. Wonderful pitch there, just when the Expos needed it. And again, the Reds struggling to get the big hit when they need it. Harry Steinfeld now the last hope. 2 outs. Heaton delivers. This is popped up. Should be made easily in the outfield. And Jones has it. Montreal holds on again. Their bullpen has been magnificent. And they win this game 3, 4-2, and now have a commanding 3-0 lead. Ian Holman went 5 innings, even if he wasn't the sharpest. Orville overall went 8 innings, allowed 4 earned runs, fell apart a little bit there in the 7th. Couldn't hold the lead that he was given. Cy Seymour 3 for 5 with a run. But it was Hubie Brooks and his Expos that rallied there in the 7th and were able to pull off yet another win. Their late game heroics have really paid off, and now they are 1 game away from making this a sweep. Cincinnati hoping somehow to salvage at least the embarrassment of the 4-game sweep. Charlie Chutch will face Dennis Martinez in game number 4 from Montreal. Is there anything left in Cincinnati's tank, or will the Expos make very quick work of this series and win it in 4? So let's go live to Montreal, where the fans are excited and are hoping for an Expo win. So game 4, we're in the 2nd inning. Dennis Martinez facing Fred Odwell. Nobody on base. And Odwell hits this one deep to right field. That'll get up over the wall. The Reds hit their first home run here in game number 4. Odwell goes deep to right. 1-0 Cincinnati. And as has been the pattern, the Reds get on the board first. Runner on second. Joe Kelly here. Same inning, 2nd inning. And Kelly gets that one just fair. Was it fair? Looks like it was. And a run will score here as Kelly doubles in a run. It's 2-0 here, Reds. 4 runs put up by Cincinnati in that 2nd inning. So Charlie Chutch has a big lead here given to him. And Tracy Jones has come up with runners on in the 2nd. And he hits one to second, but it'll get through. Runner also moving the 3rd. He'll beat a close play, and the Expos come right back and get on the board. Tracy Jones with an RBI single. The Expos end up putting up 2, so we'll move to the 3rd now. It's a 4-2 game with Odwell back up there, who hit a homer earlier. And Odwell does it again. The same pitch, same exact spot, and same exact results. Ottawa with another home run. It's 5-2 Reds. Two long line drive shots out of the park and right. And Ottawa has two home runs in a 5-2 game. We move to the sixth. Hubie Brooks up there with nobody out. And Brooks hits this one deep to left. That has no shot of staying in the park. A long home run, Hubie Brooks. A mistake there by Chech, and Brooks nailed it. 5-3, 424 feet. It's a two-run ball game. Here's Santavanilla. He's up there with nobody on. Santavanilla hits it up the middle. Corcoran can't get it. A base hit for Montreal. And here comes Dave Martinez representing the tying run. Nobody out here in the sixth. That's hit to left. Coming in hard is the left fielder, Oddwell. He's got it. One out for Wallach. Wallach hits it to short. Plays made at second. Relay to first double play. Chech gets out of that jam, and one run only for the Expos. It's a 5-3 game here in Montreal. We'll move bottom seventh. Tom Foley at the plate representing the tying run with Raines on second. 2 outs. Foley goes back up the middle. There's a base hit. Raines is going to try to score. He's rounding third. He'll get in. Standing up. An RBI single there. And it is 5-4 as Foley comes through with the hit. Galarraga up there now with 2 outs. Rip Vonkel coming in here relief. And Galarraga hits it to short. Play's going to be made there unassisted by Corcoran. And the 5-4 game continues here in the late innings. Reds holding on. Bob Ewing on the pitch against Hubie Brooks, who's already homered, and he'll lead off the 8th inning.
Strike 3.
Brooks looks at strike 3 right down the middle. Ewing strikes him out on 3 pitches. Here's Dave Martinez. Martinez hits this one to second, but no play can be made. It's an infield hit for Martinez as Huggins holds on to the ball. So with 2 outs, and Wallach up there, Martinez on first. 8th inning. Bob Ewing now delivering. And this is hit to short. Play's going to be made there. The second, the short way. So the Reds get out of the 8th. It's 5-4. We'll move to the top of the 9th as Cy Seymour's at the plate against Andy McGaffigan. 2 outs. And Seymour will single to center. There's a base hit with 2 outs. The 9th Reds hit. And Fred Ottwell, who's homered twice, at the plate. Let's see if he can do it again. Ottwell goes this time the other way, and he'll drop it into left field. So Ottwell with a big game here. He gets a single. But the Reds can't come through. We'll move bottom of the 9th. Bob Ewing facing Tracy Jones. This is a 5-4 game. Jones goes to right, and that's a base hit. So a single here for Jones to lead off the 9th inning. He is the go-ahead run. Winning run coming to the plate, and Mike Fitzgerald. Nobody out. Fitzgerald hits it deep to left. Looking up. This ball could be, might be. It is caught. Right at the track. Ottwell, with no room to spare, makes the play, and inches and feet away from winning the game are the Expos, but Fitzgerald comes up a biscuit short. So 5-4 now with 1 out. Tim Raines coming up. Raines takes ball 4, so more noise being made here by the Expos in the 9th inning. They've rallied late in almost every game, and they're trying to do it again. Tom Foley now. Runners first and second. Tim Raines on first base with outstanding speed representing the winning run. Let's see what Foley can do. Foley hits it too short. Play made at second. Relay to first. Close play. Not in time. Great hustle there. to beat the throw. Miller Huggins a little bit late, so now it's up to Galarraga with 2 outs. Bob Ewing trying to close out game 4. Tying run 90 feet away. Here's the delivery to the big cat. And Galarraga hits it down the line and left. It's a fair ball. 1 run's going to score. Here comes another man rounding third. He's going to try to score. Here's the throw. Safe. Safe. The Expos have won the game, the series, on an Andres Galarraga 2-run walk-off double here in the bottom of the 9th inning. What a finish. Montreal is going crazy. They mob the field and the players celebrating. What a comeback again by the Expos in the 9th inning. This time it's Galarraga who hit it down the line, allowing the tying and game-winning runs to score. What a finish to the game and the series. Tom Foley scoring that winning run. Jones tying it. And heartbreak again for the Reds as they lose another tight game. Fred Aldwell had 2 home runs. Didn't matter in the end. Chech pitched decently. Nelson Sandovina had a run and went 2 for 3, but it was the Galarraga play that saved the day for the series victory. So looking at the series, a quick 4-game sweep here by the Expos. Most of the games were tight, but it was the late inning heroics by Montreal that usually did the Reds in, and their bullpen struggled. Dave Martinez drove in 4, Hubie Brooks 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, a .412 average. Andres Galarraga with 5 RBIs, including 2 in that last at-bat in Game 4, hit .353. Tim Wallach with 3 RBIs. The pitching, especially the bullpen, very good. Andy McGaffigan, 2 wins in only 2 innings of work. That'll show you a lot of these games were decided late. Cy Seymour, the star of the Reds, was 10 for 16, even though he didn't drive anybody in, but sure was hitting the ball well. Steinfeld, .316. Fred Odwell had 5 RBIs and 2 home runs, but only hit .222, and it was the bullpen and pitching of the Reds team that let him down. Vowinkle, not very good. Swarnstead, not very good. Bob Ewing, not very good. All of them falling short. So hats off to the Expos. It was supposed to be a lot closer series than that. They got it done. Hubie Brooks is the MVP in the short 4-game series. Brooks playing very well with the bat and the glove, but more specifically, he hit .412 with 2 homers, 5 RBIs, 5 runs scored, a double. Got on base, had a .444 clip. So well deserved for Hubie Brooks. And the Expos get it done. Modern baseball, semi-modern baseball beats the dead ball era. 4-0 for the 1988 Montreal Expos. Not a good series for the 1905 Reds, who go down without a win. And that's the end of this series, folks. Again, Montreal winning it, 4-0. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you are with us again for our next matchup. Out of the Park Baseball 20 action. Always available here for you in baseball history. And we will see you very soon. Take care, and so long, everybody.